What's up, everybody? This is D out here live. It's been a long time. Shout out from Brooklyn. I'm out here in my backyard, so it may be a little bit noisy in a few. I know a lot of people are not on yet, but this is going to be a quick live video. I didn't get a chance to shoot a lot from the summer tub, and in the recent explosion of growth, we've had really good weather. Things have started to grow really nicely. I thought I'd bring you along for a quick live show and overview of what's going on in the outdoor pond. I love the idea of doing it live because you can see I'm not editing. You can see what's happening in real time. And I'm going to give a real quick couple of tips uh, from past experience with outdoor tubs and setting up and just getting them going right. So thank you for joining. Shout out once again. I'm here live in Brooklyn. It may get a little noisy because I'm real time outdoor at the tub, summer tub. It is a 70-gallon trough. It's 6 feet long, 2 feet across. I'm going to be adding the first live fish for 2022. And I'm just going to give you a quick few tips of what to do and what not to do. First and foremost, once again, I'm going to say this is a 6 foot horse trough. It's manufactured by a company called Bellin Country. That's Behlen. It's basically a horse trough used for feeding cattle. I've had it for about 4 years now, 4 or 5 years now. You can pick them up at Ace Hardware sells good Rubbermaid tubs. Don't just use any tub from Home Depot because they will split and break. If you haven't done that, you'll find out the hard way. This is a really heavy gauge plastic, really thick. I don't leave it full of water all winter. That's the first tip because the ice collection in it will eventually lead to its wear and breakdown and splitting. This is all rainwater. So I started in late April. I set it up, clean it out, set it out so that it collects rainwater. So this is straight up rainwater, no tap water. I did put some frog bit that I had in the house. Hopefully you can see this. I'll bring in frog bit. In the first time it gets around 60 or so degrees, I put my outdoor plants in it. I'll give you a close up here. This is frog bit, basically a floating plant. I have some kabamba. I'm going to take some out of the water here without disturbing it too much. But the kabamba I keep in the house and then I move a little bit outside. You will get algae, which is a natural thing. I'm going to show you some algae. I remove it for the most part. You can leave it. Doesn't do any harm to the fish. I remove it because it will quickly grow back as soon as the temperatures. You can see how thick that is. That is just in one area that I'm pulling out. I'm going to take this out and throw it in the side here. Look how thick that is. I don't add any chemicals to the water. This is just good old-fashioned Mother Nature. I should have probably left that in there. One reason I leave algae in here, and this is a second tip, is because when you put fish in here, there's no other filtration in here. It's powered by these solar-powered pumps. Um, you can check out my older videos, but I'll see if I can move one. I hate to move stuff in here, but yeah, check out an older video because I don't want to move the pumps because they're anchored with heavy stones and I don't want to pull them and get them all pulled out of place. Solar powered pumps just circulate the water. All the filtration is done by Mother Nature's UV rays, which will naturally clear out the water. And the plants provide ideal cover, filtration, as well as food and fauna for your aquatic species. Oh, I am going to bring you in. I do have some water lilies. Basically, I put bulbs. I'm going to show you one. I get bulbs from Petco or whatever aquatic store, and I plant them in these little planter pots that I get from Home Depot when I buy seedlings or plants. I keep them. I fill them with aquatic plant media, and you can see that they're sprouting up already. This is growth here really close. I'll take a closer look here. Let me just get an idea of the camera. You can see that they're sprouting up. No fertilizer. There's a little bit of soil in the bottom of the cup. The rest, this is regular potting soil. The rest is planting media, which weighs it down. I'm going to slowly put that back in without disturbing everything. It also keeps the dirt from flowing out of the cup. And the lilies are already starting to grow, which is nice. I'm going to move everything back here. What else? I have some pothos. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit. Try not to shake you guys up too much. I have it on my tripod. So you can see over here all of the frog bit floating plants. I have some pothos that is not completely submerged that I grow in my cube inside the house. And then I bring some outside. It is heavy root growth. You can probably bring in for a closer look. I don't want my phone to fall in, but very heavy root structure. You don't keep it completely submerged, but emerge, which means it is growing in the water root wise, but the leaves are outside of the water. I'm going to give you a closer look of the Kabamba without dropping my phone, of course. Lots of plants. This started from a couple of pieces that I threw in April, and they will quickly grow and really start to take over. I don't like to keep a lot of floating plants because down the road you'll learn that it is hard to find fish when your entire tub is covered with floating plants. I have my little floating thermometer in there. Hopefully you can see this. It's also got algae on it. I'm so slippery. I'm going to take some more of this algae out. A lot of algae, very healthy. You can see that there, very healthy. I just take it, toss it out. And let me grab the thermometer. It was really slippery. And according to the thermometer, it is about 70 degrees in the tub. You can see that here. It's hard to tell where the camera is looking because I'm holding everything with one hand. But it is not abnormal for the tub to be in the 70 degrees, even 65-degree mark. So when you add fish, you got to be really careful in acclimation. Let me bring to that. Let me get you to that point here. I'm going to put the camera back down and put my little rock on the tripod so it doesn't fall over. I don't want this to end with my phone going in the water. So one of the things that I do, and I was explaining it to a gentleman in the store as we were talking about salt water. I apply a lot of the practices to salt water is test the water that you get the fish in. And to do that, I don't do a fancy water test. I do a usual, just an API strip test. I cut them in half. So I get more tests out of each strip. So this is one strip that I cut in half. Let me turn it around. You can see that they all have the same tests on them. I test one. I dip it in my tub water here. Stir it around real quick. Put that on the side. And I take the other one, and I'm going to show you. I have some swords. I have some swords here. Some nice male female swordfish. And I take the other one and I test the water that I'm getting the fish in, because not so much the temperature or outdoor parameters as much as pH, ammonia, things of that nature may really differ from the store to the water. Because remember, this is rainwater. I'm going to carefully put the fish there until I'm ready to release them. Also, there's a lot of duckweed, it looks like, in that water, and I don't want to get duckweed in my tub because that could be a pain in the neck. You think the frog bit grows fast, duckweed is impossible. So now I have the bag water test here, and I have the tub water test here, and oddly enough, bring that in. The parameters are almost identical. I know it's hard to see. I'm trying to look in the camera, see if you guys can see it, but pH and everything are pretty much spot on. They have really good water. I got these fish from one of the stores I go to on a regular. That's Exotic Reef Aquatic, which sells a lot of reef material, coral fish and that. And they also carry freshwater species. I was looking for some swords because I never tried to raise these sword tails outside in the tub. I did it once last year, and the fish grew really, really fast, but that was a pineapple sword, so I'm going to try it again to see if it's successful. But I've had the bag floating to get it temperature acclimated for approximately 15 minutes now while I set up the camera. to get it up to temperature. And I'm going to add the fish in, but I'm going to do it by hand because I don't want any of that duckweed getting in. So I'm really happy that the pH, everything is really close, even the carbonate hardness, which I'm surprised because this is rainwater. But everything is really close. No nitrate, no things of that nature. So I'm going to grab the fish here. I have a little pin here, actually. Right here, you'll notice that I have a fish pin for when I get ready to breed fish. And hopefully you can hear me pretty good. If you can't hear me, just leave a comment in the side, and I'll try to get closer when I talk. But I keep this little pin here, so if I have to separate fish or acclimate, I could just usually take the bag and float it in the pen, so I don't have to watch it. I don't have to worry about the fish going up. Or if there's aggression, if I get fry or anything like that, if I get a pregnant female, I can separate her for a while. But yeah, that's how I use the pen. So I'm just going to hand pick up the fish. They've been sitting in here. The water in the bag is pretty much close to the water in the tub. I'm going to release them like this, let them jump in. I did get a little bit of duckweed. I'm going to grab that sucker because we don't want that getting in there. And I got 6 of these. I'm a little late starting the container pond with fish this year because the temperatures fluctuate so much the last couple of weeks. And I want to give these guys the best chance survival rate. So you want to get to a point where the water temperatures are pretty consistent and not fluctuating every day, which can happen a lot. In April, you get 50-degree days, 40-degree days, then it'll be 90 degrees. So the temperature has been hovering in the 70s for the last couple of days. Just trying not to get any of that dang on duckweed in there. I'm probably going to get it in there because the fish even carry it sometimes. The last fish is always the hardest to get, but I'll give you a close-up look without him flipping on the floor here. Oh, you almost flipped on the floor. Come here, buddy. Flipped on the floor. We got a jumper. So this is a little swordtail here. This is actually my male. So let me get him in there. I need my males healthy here. You know, it's ironic. Usually the fish that jumps is usually the one that grows the fastest. I don't know. It must be a Brooklyn thing. They really get toughened up or something. Now that that's done, I can bring the camera in for a closer look. So you can see these guys look great. Hopefully you can really see that. I'm going to bring it in close. I don't want my phone falling in the water, but you can see these guys quickly. Hopefully you can see that they quickly gravitate towards the algae planted areas. You can't see the algae, but believe me, there is good mats of algae in here. If I go over here and just reach my hand in, you can see I pull up that, which is really healthy for the fish. I take it out throughout the year. I don't like to keep a lot of algae, but I do let it do its thing. I just take it out like that. A lot of them have gone for cover. There's a lot of cover in this pond. You can see I have flower pots in there. Hopefully you can see. I have a lot of flower pots and things I've kept over the years. I have another house plant over there. I forgot the name of it, but I was growing that in the house. I wanted to sell that. I have some plants here and another lily pot, right? I'm waiting for that to sprout. They always sprout at different times, and I don't know why. You can see this guy in the tub is so funny because it's different than being in the tank where they look straight at you head on. Fish tend to not look up. I'm just going to go down here and make sure this guy, yeah, he's doing all right. There's another one really hard to see in the corner there under the plants. There's one over there you can see. Don't mind the helicopters. I live really close to a field. So I get the air traffic, unfortunately, but as I was saying, is really awesome because it's not like having fish in a tank that gets spooked. Since I'm looking at the fish from a top down level, they are really not bothered, and they get comfortable in these tubs really quick, which is why I like a long tub instead of deep round area, and easy to deal with. I can reach right down, I can reach across from side to side if I have to catch anything or move plants or anything. I can quickly reach in there and get them out. I think I had this pot a little bit here. Okay, I like that. I'm a kind of a stickler for certain things. It's just so much more easier to manage going across instead of having something deep. When it's deep, you can't see the bottom. As of this, I can look down from the top and see exactly what's going in every little area of the tub. So definitely a benefit over having the standard black tub. Another thing is this trough is white. You can see the color, it's white. So the base is white. You can see in just May and June, end of April, so 2.5 months, the breakdown of little things in soil and leaf litter has created a little moam, which is extremely, extremely beneficial to the fish. This tub was clean. If you look at my earlier video starting the tub in 2022, completely clean. Now you can see that there's moam from leaves. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one of the bulbs that I planted. This one did not take off. I planted this one without substrate, did not take off. So it may sprout up down the road, but for now, just leave it, let it settle. It's just so fertilizer. Just good old-fashioned sunlight will be very beneficial in getting things to propagate and grow and just create their own little ecosystem. You can see the roots here. I don't know if you can see that, but the roots are growing up the side of this tub. And that's just from the sunlight. So really not an exciting point in the tub right now other than the plant growth, because I just released 6 swordtails. I got 4 females and 2 males in the tub. They may not even see each other for a day or two because the tub is 6 feet across, 6 feet across. But I see a couple down there. I know it's hard for you guys to see. I'm going to come back and shoot another video, maybe over the weekend with my underwater camera. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions on the setup of the tub, leave them in the comments. Oh, I always try to answer everybody as best I can. One other thing is, as far as the setup of the tub, I do have a screen top. I have a chicken wire top because anything softer than that will allow birds, animals, squirrels, cats, anything to just simply end up falling through into your tub. So I learned that the hard way. I'm really happy with the Kabamba. Kabamba looks really awesome. It looks like a little copy of the reservoir that I go to upstate, just really natural. Plants around the border. The middle is open. I have the little breeding area here so that I can see around. Actually, this is rooting up. I'll show you this. Is rooted up really long. The roots are spreading. This is new growth. I put this in here 3 days ago, and you can see brand new growth already. This is a house plant. So I made sure that it is above the water, and it is already showing signs of growth. A lot of roots. I'm going to move it because it's getting close to the chain sword. I don't want it rooting in that substrate. And just a really cool project that anybody can do. Nothing special. I didn't buy anything special for it. Wow, look, a lot of algae. I'm going to pull some more of this out. It'll grow back. This algae will grow back within days, probably 2 to 3 days. So I always pull it out and just throw it in the compost heap, or let me move this back. Actually, that algae was probably keeping the frog bin in place. It's attached to the roots of the frog bin. So very healthy, excellent for getting fish to breed. I'm the guy that can get fish to breed outside, but never have luck getting them to breed in the house. So I love these little projects. Click that like button. If you're not already a subscriber, hopefully you subscribe. Brooklyn Aquarium Society, as well as my channel, D from Brooklyn. What else do I have to tell you? I have some stones in here. I did try shrimp in the tub one time, but there's no way you'll be able to keep track of shrimp in a 6-foot tub looking from the top down. So that project was a failure. I probably had a zillion shrimp breed in there with no way of getting them out. So by the end of the summer, this whole entire tub will be planted. So you'll never be able to find them. It's hard enough to get the fish. The other thing is, I'm going to show you one new project that I have, and that is my floating basket. I'm going to put some Danios as well as some, I may try some barbs, but I took this basket that I got from my dollar store, my favorite place, my dollar store, and I cut the little swimming pool floaties so that it creates a natural breeding bucket. So the fish will breed in this little area and the eggs will fall through the holes, and it prevents the fish from predating on their own eggs. I just came up with this year watching a few YouTube videos, and I was like, wow, I could do that in the tub, and it's really excellent. You can even use this to acclimate fish. I can keep the fish in this little tub until they're ready to be released. I can keep baiters or things like that easily. You remove it, it's clean. I hang it back up on my little spot here. Excellent for just raising fish if you don't want to use a breeder basket like this. But I have the breeder basket, so I'm keeping that as well. And I hope you guys subscribe so that you can check back for more updates on how the project is going. And I'm going to take the camera off the tripod for the final few seconds and get you some close-ups of the swordtails and how they're doing. So till next time, this is D from Brooklyn. I hope you enjoy the videos. If there's anything that you want to see, leave the comment below. You know my goal, KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. Keep aquariums simple and do better. When it's easier to take care of, you tend to have a better love, peace, hair grease. I'm going to end this right here. Thank you for watching, everybody.